How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I have for you guys the games for World Series. I am currently at 861 rating, and I need a couple wins to get into World Series. I've been struggling in the Championship Series this season, so I'm trying to make that push, win a couple games. I think if I win the next 2 games, I will be able to make it into World Series, depending on what the opponent's rating is. This opponent in particular is also a Twitch streamer. I will link his Twitch stream in the comment section down below. And definitely a really good player. I could tell by the pregame loading screen that this guy was going to be good. I just had a feeling. He's also a 100 level diamond. He does have Verlander on the mound, who is his ace, which I thought was a little bit surprising, but I figured that he would just pitch really well with this guy. So there with McCutchen, at least I was making a productive out. First time debuting McCutchen in a ranked seasons game. I was able to move the runner over and hit a no-doubter with George Brett right there. That was an interesting swing, and I'm going to show you guys the PCI feedback right here. As you can see, the PCI was way below the ball, and it was good. I think that the opponent hung this pitch. He told me that he had early feedback on it and missed over the middle, but as you can see in the slow motion swing, George Brett's barrel of the bat was indeed on the pixel of the ball, but the PCI was way below the ball. Just something that I noticed playing this year's game. PCI feedback doesn't really matter as much as where the barrel of the bat hits the pixel of the ball and the pitcher's feedback. Like on this one, for example, I felt that he had a good swing on that. I thought that that one could have been launched out for a home run. He was a little bit early. That was the Player of the Month, Bellinger. And this one with Willie Mays, he does smack out for a home run. So this guy could definitely hit, one swing of the bat, he cuts the lead in half. And now he has the Diamond Gallo up at the plate, and I see that he has a .520 batting average with 6 home runs with him. And this guy is just a very good hitter. I mean, he launches that one, a no-doubter on a 12-6 curveball from Kershaw. Lefty. I know Gallo has more power facing a lefty, but there was a no-doubter on a curveball. This opponent was also using Omar Vizquel. So I felt that that was kind of the least amount of threat in the lineup in terms of power and could do some damage. This guy did have a lot of power on his team. And Kershaw is ripping one up the middle. That's going to bloop in for a base knock. I thought for a second Willie Mays might be able to track that one down. But Kershaw does start this inning off with the base hit. That is pretty huge. And on a 3-1 count, Tony Gwynn's going to send one down the line. That is going to be extra bases. Kershaw's going to be able to get to third base and Gwynn up to second. So now we are in business. Got the top of the lineup up. 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up to the plate with nobody down. I'm trying to score as many runs as possible in this inning, trying to break the game open. There with McCutchen, I just lined out to left field. Good squared up hit, but unfortunately right to the left fielder. I mean, wasn't able to get the job done and score the run. Kershaw didn't have enough speed, but luckily Frank Thomas picks him up after a hit by pitch from George Brett to load up the bases on an 0-2 count especially. That was huge. Frank Thomas does get a sac fly in and go up 1 run. Unable to score a couple more runs in that inning. I would have liked to get at least 2 or 3, but I'll definitely take the 1. He does start the next inning off with a 1-out base hit from Alomar. Later on in the inning, he does have something going. I was able to pop him up with Bellinger in this situation. A huge out from that Player of the Month, Bellinger. That card is a really good hitter and was his 3-hitter at the same time. So I figured that he was great with that dude. And then even more of a threat, Joey Gallo with the bases loaded. I was able to get out of that inning. I pitched around Willie Mays a little bit, but this opponent had Gallo right behind him, so that made it extremely difficult to try and figure out who I wanted to attack. I know that he hit one out with each of those players earlier on in the game, actually hit back-to-back home runs with them, so that was tough to get out of that inning, but now we have something going in this one. Unfortunate, though, I ground out a hard ground ball with Gwynn to second base there. Had a chance to score another run. Just unable to take advantage of all of the opportunities so far, and I don't expect myself to be able to come up clutch in every situation, but when it comes to making World Series and making a push towards World Series, you really have to capitalize on all of those situations. Because this opponent did go to his bullpen early on in the game, I know that I'm trying to get the confidence down on some of these pitchers. I'm trying to attack and get the lead, and once I am able to get the lead, I still have a fresh bullpen. They're still a little bit tired from a previous extra inning game that I did play. I uploaded that video as well. That was when I was pitching with Frank Thomas. My bullpen's still affected from that game, so I'm trying to get as many innings from Kershaw as possible, and only have to go with a couple guys out of the bullpen to close this one out. I mean, it is a 1-run game, so I need to tack on a few more runs if I want to clutch this one out and not give it up in the 9th inning or later on in this game where the opponent can make a comeback and score a couple runs with a couple swings of the bat. No lead is safe in this game, especially 1 run. But I am going to go ahead and debut Aroldis Chapman in this game. The new 95 overall all-star version of Aroldis Chapman is into pitch. He got the first out there. Andrew McCutchen tracked that one down in center field. Definitely a really good center fielder. I was surprised with how quick of a swing he has, and I was surprised with how much range he does have in center field as well. I felt with some of the speed that this guy had on the bases, he was going to try and get that runner into scoring position. I mean, he is the game-tying run. He had 1 out in the inning. He kind of ran himself out of the inning there as I caught him stealing. But I was looking for it. I slide step with Chapman. I threw a fastball as well. That does help. And even his changeup is pretty fast, so he gets on you pretty quickly. And Pablo Sanchez does gun the runner out with 99 arm strength there. So that was nice to see. Later on in the game, I drew a walk with Frank Thomas. I went ahead and decided to be aggressive. I brought in Ricky Henderson off the bench, trying to make something happen. I ended up stealing second and third base. And then I hit a home run with Roberto Alomar. So I probably didn't necessarily have to steal, but getting that runner in scoring position definitely tapped into Roberto Alomar's clutch attribute, giving him a slight boost. That may have helped me in that situation, turn that double into a home run with that same hit. But nonetheless, we do go up 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Definitely a good game so far. Chapman is still in this one. I'm really trying to get as many outs as possible with him. He has 18 pitches. This is the 19th pitch, and he's going to serve that one up for a home run. I tried to throw the ball up in the zone and challenge Rogers Hornsby there. However, I did miss over the middle of the plate a little bit more than I would have liked to, and I didn't get the ball up in the zone enough. But anyway, that is going to be a solo shot, making it a 5-3 game. And now Ichiro in the bottom of the 9th, or excuse me, the top of the 9th inning, he is going to hit an extra base hit the other way, setting up Andrew McCutchen, the top of the order coming up. I was unable to get the job done with Tony Gwynn, but McCutchen is going to slap a late base hit the other way. It's unfortunate that I got a couple of these late base hits. The opponent didn't really get rewarded in this way like I did, but it could be part of the feedback. I'm not really sure what his pitcher's feedback was like on some of these, but this one was a better base hit. I felt like I went the other way with that one pretty well and squared it up, and I did send it the opposite field. That's going to be down the left field line, and I am going to be able to score 2 more runs, making it a 7-3 game. That's very important to get those insurance runs in the 9th inning, especially against a really good player like this, because like I mentioned before, he can really hit, and Joey Gallo is one of those guys that he was doing some damage with. So luckily I was able to get the win. I moved up to 885 from 861 to 885. That previous opponent was in the World Series. So this next game will be for the World Series. This opponent is at 850 something, and I think if I win this one, I will have enough. I will have more than enough at 15 points to make it into 900 rating and secure that Lefty Grove. And I thought for sure that Frank Thomas had a chance to take an early 2-0 lead with that swing, but it was tracked down by Andrew McCutchen, and then the opponent's Frank Thomas is starting this next inning off with a base hit to left field. That was a cutter I tried to throw on the outside corner of the plate, just slightly off the plate, looking for a ground ball. The opponent swung early, rolled over, but I knew I could get that result if I missed with early feedback. Does get the base hit. And then with Ichiro, he sends one into the gap for extra bases. Luckily, I am able to throw him out at third base before Frank Thomas comes around to score. I was able to tag him out for the out at third, and the run did not score there, so that's huge, making it a 0-0 game. Later on in the 3rd inning, I had a nice opportunity with nobody out to try and take the lead. I had McCutchen up at the plate facing this Whitey forward. I power swung and got on top of that one, hit it into a double play, and that's just unfortunate. You hate to see that. Then later on in a different inning, with Tony Gwynn up in the 4th, I had a chance to hit a sac fly. I check swung, just unable to capitalize so far in these opportunities, and I can't afford to do this. In World Series game, you really have to take advantage of what you've done. I mean, take advantage of the base hits that you've hit, try and have productive outs. Luckily, Frank Thomas bailed me out with a solo shot right there. I power swung on that swing, and really looking to get the bats going. One swing of the bat gets the confidence a little bit down right there, and that's exactly what I was saying in my live stream. I figured he would go with an up and in fastball next. I tried to send that one into the gap for extra bases, but nonetheless I was ready for it. Hit it for a base hit. That's going to bring up Tony Gwynn with the bases loaded later on. 2 outs. I'm trying to get a 2-out rally, trying to capitalize on something. I'm able to send one into center field for an extra base hit because he throws it to the cutoff man. I was able to get to second with 89 speed. Then McCutchen on a regular swing, another pitch up in the zone. I sent that one into the gap. I squared that one up nicely, and I didn't get on top of it. That's going to be a line drive double. So I was able to capitalize in this inning. This is huge. Try and break the game open. I was able to put up 5 runs with 2 outs. I have George Brett up. And I'm not done yet, man. I'm trying to get a fastball inside. He's been throwing inside to a lot of lefties. And there it was. I was sitting on it, as you can tell, with the PCI. And sent that one out for a no-doubter. I finally timed one up well. And I swung just early enough to hit it off the barrel. 107 off the bat. And once again, I mean, Whitey Ford's confidence is pretty low at this point. I power swung with Frank again and got him up in the inning once again. I mean, he just batted. He hit the home run, batted around after getting out a couple times. And then Alomar once again, power swing. I was sitting on the curveball. I got the barrel of the bat down there below the zone. I swung with the correct timing and barreled it up, hit it out. Later on, I felt that I had to bring in Keith Hernandez as a defensive replacement for Frank. He was out there messing around, doing whatever he wants at first base, allowing people to get on first. So I figured I'd go with Keith, and then he hits the first home run for the team for me. I ended up closing that one out with Billy Wagner, getting the 10-run mercy rule. I tried to put the game away in that same inning where I was scoring all those runs. I was really trying to put up 10 in that one inning because no lead is safe. I felt like this opponent was a good player. He could have came back at any time. Roberto Alomar does get the player of the game in that one. I was pitching with Adam Wainwright for the second time really in ranked seasons, and he pitched well for me, getting me into World Series there. I should have enough points after I exit out of this game. I hope that it will be enough. I think it should. I mean, I'm 15 points away, but I have played a couple games of ranked seasons where I've gotten only like 10 to 14 points. There we get 18, so that puts us at 903. That is going to be World Series. A tough season for me, to say the least, but I got in and I was able to get this Lefty Grove. I'm going to go ahead and select Lefty Grove. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. I'm College Lefty, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.